Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today, we are covering two different sovereign citizens from two separate courtrooms. First, we have a very interesting sovereign citizen. He has a driver's license and a license to carry a pistol, but he still refuses to consent to using his government name and all the other things that come with being a sovereign midwit. Then, we have another sovereign citizen who openly admits that he is not smart enough to defend himself, yet he still insists on representing himself in court. But before we begin, I want to tell you about today's sponsor. Raycon. Raycon's everyday earbuds are a game changer in audio technology. They offer premium sound quality at a fraction of the cost of other high-end brands. Delivering incredible value to IT is not just about the sound. These earbuds come with advanced features like active noise cancellation, one-touch media and volume controls, and the ability to connect to two devices at the same time using multi-point connectivity. For me, this feature has been a lifesaver. When I go to places like the gym, I only take my emergency phone with me and keep my other phone nearby for everything else. Before using Raycon, I had to constantly switch connections or buy extra earbuds. Now, Raycon makes it easy to move between devices whenever I need to. Imagine watching my YouTube videos on your phone while still staying ready for work notifications on your computer. It almost feels like you are not working at all. If you are worried about battery life, the everyday earbuds have you covered. They offer up to 32 hours of battery life and a quick charge feature that gives you up to 90 minutes of listening time with just 10 minutes of charging. You will never miss a beat. Finally, Raycon's protective case adds even more convenience. It keeps your earbuds safe and supports wireless charging.
So, to this person on the device just labeled Mac, would you be Stephen Smith?
My Christian appellate name is capital S, lowercase T-E-P-E-H-E-N, capital S, lowercase M-I-T-H.
Okay, so that would be a yes. Thank you. Deputy Sims. Now calling 24W003208A, the Township of Ypsilanti versus Stephen Cameron Nigel Smith. Deputy Sims, state your name for the record.
Deputy Sims.
Thank you. Okay, and Mr. Smith, you've already stated and spelled your name out. Thank you. Today is the date and time set for an informal hearing in this matter. What I have is a citation issued November 17th, 2024, that charges that on or about that date you did operate a motor vehicle on Holmes Road at or near Ford Boulevard. And when you were pulled over, you failed to disclose to the officer that you had a concealed pistol and a CPL.
If there was ever a strong argument for the Second Amendment, it is that there are sovereign citizens who are running around in our society who do not think laws apply to them while actively carrying a firearm.
So, it looks like you were also cited for having a window tint. I don't have that citation, which presumably means that it was paid. So, again, this is a civil infraction. There is no criminal penalty associated with this, no jail time, no probation. There is, however, a fine. Before we get started, Deputy Sims, was there anything that you wanted to say?
No, ma'am, I'm ready to proceed.
Mr. Smith, as you have likely heard already, you have three basic options when it comes to this citation, and these are your three options. You can accept responsibility, that is basically admit that you did not disclose per MCL 28.425F that you had a license to carry a concealed pistol and that you did not present that immediately to the peace officer when you were pulled over. You can accept responsibility with an explanation, so the court can take into consideration any mitigating factors and potentially lessen or eliminate the fine. Finally, you can deny responsibility, that is, deny that you failed to disclose your CPL immediately. at which point we will proceed to the informal hearing. I will swear in both sides, take testimony, and make a decision based on preponderance of the evidence. Which of those three options are you going with?
I want to, may I grant my name to the court and make the court trustee?
No, you may not make the court your trustee. The court is there to act as a referee, not as a lawyer, and definitely not as your personal assistant or trustee. The reason sovereign citizens say this is because if the magistrate were a trustee of one of their accounts, there would be an obvious conflict of interest. The magistrate would then have to recuse herself. A new judge would be assigned to the case and then assigned as the new trustee. This process would repeat until there were no judges left to try the case. On paper, it is a great idea. In reality, not so much.
But the option 3, as your question, I deny responsibility and I have an explanation.
Okay, so if you are denying responsibility, then I'm going to swear you in and swear in the deputy, and I will take testimony from both sides. So let me explain how this is going to work. After I have sworn you both in, I am going to take testimony from Deputy Sims first, because Deputy Sims is the officer in charge of issuing the citation. That means he's basically the plaintiff in this matter, okay? Once he has finished his testimony, which you are not to interrupt, it will be your turn to testify. He is not to interrupt you either. After I've heard the testimony from both sides, I will make a decision based on preponderance of the evidence. As I stated before, that is a 49% to 51% standard. So basically, whoever's testimony is slightly more persuasive. This is not a criminal case. It is not beyond a reasonable doubt in this situation. So, do you understand? Do you comprehend everything that I just said?
I do comprehend.
Thank you. Okay, raise your right hand, Deputy Sims, and Mr. Smith, you will have to tell me when it's raised if you're not turning your camera on.
It's raised.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to the best of your information, knowledge, and belief, Deputy Sims?
I do.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Deputy Sims, you may proceed with your testimony.
On 11/17/2024, about 3 a.m., my partner and I observed a black Ford Fusion. It was on Ford Boulevard. I believe it had just turned onto Ford Boulevard with tinted windows. Proceeded after the car. It turned into the gas station there on the corner, and we followed it into the gas station and proceeded towards one of the exits. Before it returned to the road, the driver, Mr. Smith, exited and began yelling at us. At that point in time, we activated our emergency lights and conducted the traffic stop there. We made contact with him, explained the reason that we had followed behind him. And when I approached the vehicle, I looked in the vehicle and I observed a firearm on the passenger seat. At no point in time during that did I hear I have a CPL until after the firearm was located. He was detained, the CPL was verified, he was issued the citations and released.
All right, so that is the officer's testimony. It seems pretty straightforward. He pulled over the defendant, and the defendant failed to disclose that he had a corporal while carrying a concealed handgun. This is a clear violation of MCL section 28.425b, which states that you must disclose your corporal when pulled over by the police and carrying a concealed firearm. That a lawyer would have a legitimate legal strategy to defend against these allegations under these circumstances. But now, let's hear how a pro se idiot defends himself.
Mr. Smith, it is your turn.
I want to mention there's no damaged property or victim under sworn oath. Also, I believe I was being racially profiled. I had been pulled over, which I did stop, and I was let go because I wasn't suspected of any crimes, just as I wasn't suspected of any crimes by him as well, as he mentioned. We had sat um, in the intersection, which I was in the middle of a DoorDash, and I wanted to get on my phone to see where I was at. When I looked away from my phone, I seen him, the officer, and another deputy, or whoever it may have been, an officer, also sitting in the middle intersection for about 30 seconds, maybe to even 60 seconds. So he could see me through my windshield. While I believe it was racial profiling, considering the area we were in wasn't the um, best area. So when I pulled, which I did use my turn signal, and it was a stop sign, or it was a light, a signal light. So when the light turned green, I turned right with my turn signal. I also turned signaled into the gas station, which I was going to stop to check my phone because, like I told the officer that had pulled me over 10 minutes before, which I'm sure he heard on the radio call, um, I was door dashing, which I had admitted to both of the officers. He called another officer in response to what he calls me pulling myself over. He never admitted to pulling me over. He said I pulled myself over. I got out the car to explain myself that I was door dashing and that I felt like I was being harassed because I was just previously pulled over. I did not have a firearm on person, and he didn't have a reason to suspect me of any crimes or try to search my vehicle. I was illegally searched on person without my disclosure. I told them I don't consent to any searches, and they were digging in my pockets. I have a legal license, and I'm not suspected of any crimes. So